Hi there, I'm Aaron from howtosing.com, and I want to talk about how to sing high notes. The first thing I want to say is you want to really avoid belting and pushing and straining to reach those high notes. I know that's kind of that's what happens is when you try to sing high notes, it often you get up there and you can kind of get kind of high, but you're raising your larynx up and it's getting kind of squeezy and doesn't sound as good, and it's also really straining your voice. So enough times of like kind of belting and pushing and that straining thing, it just hurts, and it can be damaging for your vocal cords. Simply add strain and even swelling to your vocal cords that you definitely don't want. So I just want to say right off the bat, don't resort to that kind of manner. In fact, to hit higher notes, this is going to sound weird, it's probably different from anything you've ever heard, but to sing the higher notes you actually need less air and not more air. Because your vocal cords are so stretched at that point, you really need less air to hit those higher notes. But I don't want to get into all that right now. There's actually, if you go to my website, howtosing.com, there's a video there that kind of explains all that. Right now I just want to talk about how to sing high notes is basically developing a mix, or a mixed voice or a blended voice. That's what you really need. You want a blend between the chest register, your chest voice, and your head voice, head register. You want a smooth blend to where, and usually most people have kind of a crack or a break in between the head and chest voice. It's actually called a bridge, or some people call it a transition. But you want to get a smooth transition between those two, and you want to learn how to not just blend those registers, but you want to learn how to take your head voice and bring your head voice down. This may not make sense right now, but this is, once you kind of hear it once, and if you check out the other stuff on my site, it'll kind of start coming together. But when you're belting, like, hey, 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 what you're doing, that straining sound is actually bringing your chest voice up into the higher notes, but you want to do the opposite. You want to bring your head voice down into the lower notes. So you want to work on your head voice, get a stronger head voice, expand that, and develop a mix. So you want to smooth out those transitions and use more of your head voice for those higher notes rather than your chest voice. But I do want to give you one exercise that'll kind of help you get there. One really cool tip, one really cool trick about singing high notes is that you can sing higher notes when you sing staccato. Staccato is like short disconnected bursts, whereas legato is connected flowy. So staccato would be like T, 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 but legato would be like T, more flowing together. But when you do staccato, when you do this exercise, and anytime you want to expand your range, one way to do it is to start with staccato and then work to legato. Once you've got it nice and getting your range a little higher with the short burst notes, then you want to try and do the same thing with a legato, with the more smooth, flowy, melodic notes. So this one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that pattern. I'll just demonstrate it in a minute. But on T, that T is going to give you that kind of short burst. So you want to go T, 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 and then you want to raise it up one T, 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 T. And so what you're doing here, you want to keep raising it, and as it goes through, you don't want to strain or push, like I said, but as you get that in your higher range, you'll actually be able to hit the higher notes with that staccato, and then you could work it into legato. So that's a fun little trick. What you do is you develop muscle memory, and then once you develop muscle memory of hitting those high notes in staccato, then you'll be able to pretty soon be able to do that in legato. And most singing is legato; it's more melodic notes flowing together. If you really want to learn how to sing high notes, these are some great tips. Work these, and I think they'll be real beneficial for you. But on my site, I'm at howtosing.com. I think I told you that, and the link is you can click below. But I've got a video up there, a long content-packed video on how to sing high notes, and I give you some really great tips and tricks that the pros use there. And just for visiting, you can get that video for free. But I've got a lot of other great information up there for you for free too, if you'd like to check it out, become a better singer. So that's it. I hope that helps, and I'll see you at howtosing.com.